Yummy, yummy oranges. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at comparing and scaling 3.4, where we're going to learn how to calculate unit rate. We're going to use unit rate to make decisions. Taking a look at superfoods, if you really wanted to be a smart shopper, if you wanted to stick to your budget as best as possible, you're going to start to learn how to use unit rate. Unit rate simply is dividing one number by the other. So we have two numbers right here. 10 oranges, that would be, and I'm going to put the label, oranges, for $2. So I'm going to use those two, and I'm going to actually figure out what is the cost per orange. Now, when I use unit rates, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by that second label. Again, that was in our vocabulary, but to figure out how to actually solve for unit rate, what we're going to do is we're going to, step one, divide one variable by another. And then our example would be 5 hours and 50 miles. I want you to write this example down. 5 hours and 50 miles. It doesn't have to be in that order. So 5 divided by, no, I'm not going to do 5 divided by 50. If I wanted to figure out miles per hour, I'm going to divide by this number. I'm going to divide by the hours. So I would have to take 50 divided by 5, opposite of what it actually is written here. And that would give me 10 miles per hour. Make sure to copy that down. If you need to, pause right now. So if I wanted to figure out the cost per orange, I'm going to take the cost, $2, and divide that by the number of oranges that I get for that. So 2 divided by 10, that's going to give me 0.2, or in dollars, that's going to give me 20 cents. Each one of those oranges costs 20 cents. How many oranges can you buy for $1 or per dollar? Well, that one I'm going to do the opposite. 10 divided by $2. That equals 5 oranges. What division did you perform in each case? If you have this information down right now, you do not have to put down anything for 3. Otherwise, copy that down. And then we're going to complete this table. Now that we have our rates, what we're going to do for each of these is we're going to multiply them. Okay? So the cost of at Superfoods, for 10 oranges, it was $2. For 1 orange, or 5 orange, for $1, it's going to be 5 oranges, because we already figured out that for $1 you get 5 oranges. For 1 orange, how much does that cost? Again, we already figured that out. Now, if I wanted to do 20 oranges, well, I know how much 10 costs, so I can figure out how much 20 costs. If I want to do 11 oranges, okay, well, we have some of that information. 10 plus the 1, which was 20 cents. And then how many oranges can we get for $2.60? Let you figure that out. Each one of them costs 20 cents. So I know that for $2 I can get 10. And then for 60 cents more, 1, 2, 3, that's 3 more oranges. We're going to get a little bit extra practice on this using the unit rate, but watch that again and again and again if you don't quite understand what each of the what process we just went through. Because our goal is you want to be able to calculate unit rate, which we did twice actually. We calculated the rate per orange, and then we also calculated the rate per dollar. We calculated unit rates in 2 different ways. But now right here, what we're going to do is we are going to calculate 2 unit rates. Yep. So we're going to figure out gallons per mile, and then we're going to figure out the other way, miles per gallon. So let's look at B1. Dividing this out, if I wanted to do gallons per mile, per mile, I would divide it just like that. 22 divided by 682. On my calculator, that proves to be, you can figure it out as well and pause the video, 0.03 gallons per mile. Now, that's telling me that for every mile, I'm using up 3/100ths of a gallon. Not that much at all. But let's look at it the other way. This might give us a better picture. How much would I use for 1 gallon? So I want to figure out how many miles I can run on 1 gallon of gas. This is something that each car is given, a MPG, or miles per gallon. You always want to have the greatest amounts of miles per gallon so that you have to buy less gas. We can figure that out by taking how many miles that we've driven, and that's usually on the tripometer, divided by the gallons of gas that we put into the car, so 22. Once I figure that out, 682 divided by 22, again on your calculators, you should be figuring this out, I get 31 gallons to the 31 miles to the gallon. This is an outstanding miles per gallon ratio. I would definitely buy this car in a heartbeat, 31 miles per gallon. Usually most cars are in the 20s, and very often. So as you're looking at this, I want you to, we already figured out compute each unit rate. We know that we figured out gallons per mile and miles per gallon. Remember, the second one, the per gallon or per mile, that's what we divided by. Which seems more useful to you? Do you really, and I kind of went through a little spiel right there, but do you really need to know per mile how much of the gallon you're using? Or do you want to know how many miles you can go on 1 gallon of gas? This is useful information that you should figure out. Figure it out at home. Use the application that we just learned today to actually apply some of this math, because you will later in life. Again, today we used our knowledge, we used our skills to calculate unit rate, and also we used the unit rate to make decisions. That's all for tonight. Please make sure that you watch this video over if you had trouble calculating unit rates or using it to make decisions. And have a great night. Bring this sheet back with any additional questions. We'll have some practice when you get back tomorrow.